We're live.
Right, and here we
Hello,
are
everyone.
live for Ruxy Vampire #1. I am Kurt Zauer, and I've got my outstanding artist and what was it, Mel? Creative consultant?
Creative consultant,
Sure,
whatever that means.
there we go. With me
I
here
have
on the live,
ideas.
yeah. And we are getting ready to launch Ruxy Vampire at 7 p.m. It's going to be the first spin-off in the Spectrus and Sabanian universe. My interior and cover artist here, Maug Park, she has done an outstanding job, pretty amazing job on getting the book together. And Bruna is also, I'm not sure if she's able to make it. I know she lives in Brazil, right? I think South America, so she probably won't be able to make it. But boy, I can't wait to see the whole book when it's done. It's going to be awesome.
Yep, same here. We're excited to be working on this. We've been, I think you talked about it the first time was like practically 2 years ago, maybe even longer. You know.
Yeah, well, that's life. You know, there's been a big gap in the last my last book and this one, but you know, what can you do? That's things go on, things happen, and
Well, yeah, but it gave us a good chance, especially on your part, to really figure things out and develop it and make it into better than what like when you first start off, right? So we went through a lot of script changes, and there was the number of page changes that occurred on the series kept going up and down.
yeah.
We didn't have a problem with that.
It's
That was your call and said, "Hey, whatever Kurtz wants, we're gonna do it."
it's that's the communication thing is always paramount. It doesn't always it's yeah. As a writer, I need to communicate and make things as clear as possible. But yeah, no,
that's just. I think that's just for me. It's just part of the process.
it is.
And
It's part of the.
I'm used to going through all that with editors. There hasn't been a project I've been on where there's a lot of changes. Those changes can be small, they can be big. Page counts on campaigns can fluctuate from 24 to 38 to 50 something pages. I've seen that happen. Now, when you're working for the mainstream, they have a fixed count of pages.
Yeah.
For the earlier books, so there's no question about it there. But lucky for us in this time in this market, we have the freedom to vary those number of pages according to what we see fit that will make a good story, right? So I do like that advantage. It's great to see that there's more 38, 50 count pages out there, and I think it does have to tell a story that can really fill more of the body in there. Of course, you still got to do it right.
I think for the viewers out there who don't know what we're talking about, we should clarify this is going to be
The mic, we're not hearing you very well. The mic, I think maybe pull the mic a little closer.
Well, it is a mature
There we go.
story.
40 page, right?
38.
I thought it's 40 page.
Well, it's 38 pages of art, but it's got to be a full book, so it's 40.
Yeah.
So there's going to be a glossary of slang, of gangster slang in there, and then some promo stuff on the final pages. So
Right.
yeah.
So
Right. Yeah, we're talking about 38 pages of story.
Ah.
There's more than that.
Yeah, you got to have.
Talking to.
It's funny the learning, always learning. But the book has to be, the number of pages has to be divisible by 4.
Yeah.
And it's funny. The very first book I ever did, that short black and white issue, I wrote a 10-page script, and then I sent it in, and they're like, we can't do this. I'm like, what are you talking about? you know.
Oh,
So I added like a scroll. I added a like a Star Wars scroll to the end, and then I did a little
Mhm.
character page, so that filled it out to 12 pages. So yeah, everything's a learning experience. It's pretty
Yeah.
fun.
And then some people may have seen that, like in some comic books, you'll see a page in there, right? And it has this verbiage on there. It says, "This page is intentionally left blank."
really?
Yeah, because they couldn't fill it with anything, and they want to let the reader know that they're not missing anything. This is not a misprint.
Yeah,
Okay, so this blank is literally blank with just verbiage
that's a
on
missed
there.
opportunity, though, if you ask
Yeah,
me.
it is a missed opportunity. There's a because there's a lot of things you could have done with that page.
Oh yeah,
But
but
yeah, you don't see
yeah,
it a lot, but it does happen.
but yeah, it's funny. Ruxy actually started as a story as a villain, and the story was actually going to be about a British vampire hunter. But you know, the more I thought about it, the more ideas came through. You know, I still have that story written, and I might do that as a one shot for Cesara. We'll
Mhm.
see how that works out. But it's definitely a kind of a villain focused story. But you know, the more I wrote it, you know, you fall in love with the vampire.
Yeah, but
The vampire hunter is just not as fun. You know, it's just the way it
Yeah.
is.
no, I don't know. I do like Vampire Hunters, but you've got some other interesting characters in there that I definitely want to learn more about. Cesaro, of course, and Apollonia. You know, all those girls that are in there, they seem like they've got a very interesting past. So as this story unfolds, we'll get to learn more about them.
Yeah, it's going to be a good time. It's going to be a good time. Let's see
So,
here.
who's all the artists that you have doing covers on the book? We know some of them, but I don't know if you told us like everybody that's going to be on there.
We have, let's see here. I believe it's a total of 9 cover artists.
Oh, yeah. See, that's way more than
That's a lot. Yeah.
way more than we know.
Yeah. Well, you know, I'm still kind of new to I've noticed that like a lot of the risque books, they have a lot of covers, you know, so I'm kind of just copying off other people. And
Ah.
so I'm,
So
you know,
is
this is my,
sorry.
yeah, go ahead.
Is it 9 artists or 9 covers, including the naughty and nice version?
No, 9 artists.
Yeah, that's a lot.
So if you have a
So
naughty version, then that's like 18.
yeah. Well,
Oh, this is
that's how a
something
lot of
interesting.
the risque books do it. They do a lot of covers and a lot of cover artists. So yeah, it's going to be well, we'll go over them once we go live. We'll scroll through all the
I
covers.
Yeah.
definitely want to go through that and see how that Kickstarter is set up and everything.
Yeah.
What's the average number of the risque cover then?
Well,
'Cause
like
you can-
you know, like Bill McKay or there's another one
Well, you
called.
did get Bill McKay.
no,
Well,
you
you know, I'm still going to get him because it's just the timing was bad because he just finished up his Kim the Delusional Kickstarter.
Right.
I've got that here actually, and then he just went to New York Comic Con.
Right.
So I was pinging him a little bit, and the guy's busy, so I'll catch him for issue number 2. It's not a problem. You know, like you say, I probably have too many covers already. But yeah, I've got. I think you guys are familiar with the Psycho-San cover, which has kind of got the cute kind of the anime style
Right.
cover. I've got Topper. Topper was thrilled to do covers for Risque cover. Matt Gunn, who did a cover for me for Spectrus and Sabanian. He's done one for me as well.
Mm-hmm.
Louis Bravo, you guys
Oh
introduced
yeah.
him. He's got some great work. There is a kind of a guy I follow on Instagram who does these kind of called Holy Bones. I don't know if you've heard of him on Instagram, but he does these little cartoony drawings, and his was kind of fun. And then Hedwin Zaldivar, you'll see his books around a lot. His covers.
Yeah, his name is prolific out there. It's almost like everything I bump into, I see his name. He's even on. He's on. He's on Ninja Witch. Which Mog is on? He's on. There's. I keep seeing that. In fact, it's the name that I commonly see that comes across my Facebook page.
Yeah, that guy puts out a lot of. He must keep busy, I was working with him. Great guy. He did a big number of. He did quite a few different variations for me. I'm only going to use 3 of them for the launch, and then Anolia Nova, who I found on ArtStation, and she does kind of these fantasy characters that are really cool. And I'd seen her stuff around on Tumblr and other places too. So she was able to knock something out. I've got one other artist kind of in the wings. He wasn't able to get it done in time. That's why I found Anolia, but he'll probably be adding a cover midway through the campaign. And his name is Francesco Tomaselli. He's done some Spawn. He's done some bigger.
That name sounds familiar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he's
familiar to me.
Yeah. So we'll see something new from him midway through the campaign, or as soon as he's ready to launch it. So.
Yeah.
But
we've got. Is that 18 minutes to launch?
Yeah. I thought, I invited a couple other people here, but
What made you do 38 pages? Because that's kind of unusual.
Not really.
Really?
It is.
A standard comic book in a standard comic book format is like 22, 20, like 24. Okay.
Yeah.
But it's not uncommon that they go to 38 or 52.
For the first issue?
Well, not necessarily for first issue, but any comic book format, like the annuals and the giant size issues for like Marvel and DC would go 38 or 52 pages.
Sounds like that's reserved for special occasion, like you say, it's annual or something like that.
Yeah, that's where they were using it then. But on Kickstarter and these campaigns now, because they're not tied to a specific format that they follow. Yeah. Right. They can decide like how many pages they want to go to. Right. So there's quite a few Kickstarters I've looked at, and they're at 38 pages. So that's not 38 pages of story. That is, when I refer to that.
But let Kurt answer the question though.
Well, I mean, it's hard to. I guess I'm not a pro. I can't. My goal is to keep it around 32, 36 pages. But sometimes the story, I always have a start point and a point where I want to end that book. So,
which is good.
Yeah. So I basically write it from A to B, and then however many pages it takes, that's where it is. So that end part, I did want to have connection with Spectrus and Sabanian, so I added that to the end. I knew there had to be something there, because I want to expand my customer, my fan base for that as well. But it is an odd number of pages, but basically the ending I want kind of dictates the page count. So
that was an ending that you played around with. That seemed to have taken up a lot of changes, right? Because I think that on the initial script you had Nixie just pop up on the last page of the script, and now she takes up a little bit more than just one page.
Yeah. I kind of figured her way to get integrated into the story is with the villain, kind of her quest to rejoin the world of living started,
Yeah.
all the way back many years ago. She's hunting down the spells that she needs to,
Yeah.
put her plan in place. So I
Yeah.
figure that's kind of the coolest way to get her into the story.
It's also, I find it I also find it interesting because for those who don't know what we're talking about, he's a main Spectrus and Savanian character is gonna make a cameo. So there's like a link. But what's interesting is it seems like she's playing a different role instead of like the protagonist, like a good person. Now she might be possibly playing kind of an antagonist. Possibly, we're not gonna do any spoilers, but yeah.
Yeah, she's there to get what she needs. And she's gonna come into conflict with the villain. So but yeah, you're right, the original script and that scene will be in issue number 2. The beauty of that is, that original script was like 52 pages, and that just wasn't practical. That would have been too long and just too expensive, to be honest.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, you will see that scene will be in issue 2. That, I mean, the best part of it is that issue 2 is already probably, almost halfway written, because that first script was so long. Mm-hmm. So but yeah, oh no, she's going to be there. It'll be kind of a separate side story, until Cesara eventually heads into Chicago to come into conflict with.
What was it? Was it harder to write Ruxy versus Spectrus? Like, what was the difference in the writing?
Spectrus is definitely much more focused and like forward charging, and she's also very intolerant of mistakes and things like that, because she can't forgive herself for the mistake that she made. But and Ruxy is more just kind of in it to have fun, to mix it up. She was supposed to be a princess. Eventually her brother Mark, who would have become the Count of Wallachia, and she had kind of a tight upbringing that she rebelled against, and she's kind of in a stage now where she just wants to cut loose and have fun and have adventures. So
yeah, I can feel that in the writing too, because when I read Spectrus, it does feel like it's very kind of like narrow, and she, like you said, she's focused. There's a clear path on where, what she's trying to do. Whereas Ruxy is kind of, she's like trying to figure this out and what's going on and everything, and so it's a lot more loose, and she can be a little bit more frivolous in her actions and what she decides what she wants to do. And right now, it seems like a lot of it is for her.
Yeah.
So
the tone is different.
Yeah.
Like Spectrus is much serious, very action, very focused. It's very, very dark. But Ruxy is completely different. There's a lot of humor.
It's wild.
Yeah, there's action too. So there's violence.
It's risque. It's
yeah. And this is me again. This is not something. This is kind of me dipping the toe in the water. I hope I don't lose any of my Spectrus fans. Going over to doing a little more sexy. But I don't think so. It's an adult book, and we're all adults. So
we are, and I think that's where it's at now. So.
This would be 18 and over.
Oh yeah,
definitely.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely.
Oh, so you can't buy if you're
right.
Surprisingly, I remember like while I was working on it, for 18 and over, there was really no swear words.
There's a few.
There's a very, very, very few.
Yeah, I don't think they use the.
No, they
The,
didn't.
the swearing and the lingo was very different back
Yeah,
then.
their lingo. There's a lot of innuendos, I think, more so during that time than the cuss words that we use today.
I like it. I like it.
One of their cuss words is actually horse feathers.
What? Horse feathers?
Yeah, so
and I'm still debating. Yeah,
they're more literal in that way.
If I want to use that in the book, horse feathers. That's
that sounds interesting.
Yeah, and whoopee is
whoopee.
Yeah, whoopee.
Whoopee is a bad word.
Well, bad word.
Yeah, it's basically their slang for having sex is making whoopee.
Yeah. Oh, you wanna get you want whoopee.
Yeah, so some of it's a little. I don't even know.
Gonna whoopee it up.
The thing is, actually, Mel, you knew quite a bit because at the end there's a somebody, one of the gang uses the word chassis.
Oh.
And then you were telling me it means it's her butt.
Yeah, they're talking about her hips or butt.
Yeah, and I was arguing with you that it's not. And then I had to look it up, and it came out. So
yeah,
that was right.
Yeah, when you watch enough of those 1920s era films and whatnot, you do learn a little bit.
Yeah, I do love the old gangster movies, and the old kind of the.
Yeah, where they come in and they talk. Why, you dirty rat, you yellow rat! I'm gonna get you.
Right.
I'm gonna get you, you yellow rat.
Yeah, there's a lot of fun. I've just been doing a lot of research on the slang from that time, and it's a lot of it's pretty hilarious and just pretty funny.
Please do. I'm learning.
Yeah, it's colorful in its own way, and I think that's what makes it interesting. If you bring a lot of that into the story, that's definitely going to add some depth to it to make it interesting. Because you don't hear that much these days, Not like we used to see a lot of films or stuff like that,
I think chassis was still around when I was a kid. But
it was. Yeah, it was for me. Like in the 70s, people were still using that word.
Yeah.
I was so sure that chassis meant like, let me help you with like a piece of a dress, maybe like a shoulder strap or something.
Oh,
and
no.
Yeah, it was
nice.
It was
nice
not that. Yeah. Because I was trying to translate it in context. It says, "Let me help you with that chassis." And I thought, oh, she's going to, he's going to help her fix her dress or something. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of terminology that can be brought in. What the ladies called a cigarette, or there was a brand that they were using, and it was commonly used. Do you have a Tipperello? Things like that.
Yeah.
Where you have you have those girls that would walk around, and then they have cigars, cigarettes,
Oh, right.
With the little trays.
Yeah.
Oh, we got cigars, cigarette, and then you'd see all those like cartoon stuff that would come out: cigars, cigarettes, or me.
But I was like, when I was researching like what people wore, like 1920s, like photographs, there's a lot of pictures of children who were like 6 years old or something, and they're smoking. Everybody was pretty much smoking.
Yeah.
Even a kid, it was totally fine. Like there's nothing wrong with it.
Well, they didn't know the problems with it back then.
Yeah, nobody knew better at that time.
They didn't have the child labor thing, right?
They did.
In the 20s?
Yeah, I think, yeah.
There was a limit to children working?
I just thought they didn't have like the safety regulations and
No.
all those things that we have now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was probably pretty bad.
It was, yeah, it was
Yeah.
very bad. That was in the 20s. Yeah, all the way up into it wasn't, I think, until like the 60s when just labor laws in general were starting to get really much better for everyone overall.
Hey, Kurt, you
Yeah,
grew up.
5
where did
minutes for launch here. Go ahead.
Where did you grow up as a child? What state?
Wisconsin.
Wisconsin. Okay.
Yeah.
So when you were a kid, was there like a law how old you have to be? You can't be alone in the house.
Oh,
Do you remember?
I don't think there was a law. I think
No.
people just were careful.
Yeah.
Did you ever like leave the house when you were a kid alone? Do you remember like kindergarten age? Because mom and dad had to go out.
Oh no, I don't think so. I think there were rare occasions when, they would call. They had like a call system where they'd ring twice, hang up, and then call me back.
Why?
Yeah.
Why?
So I wouldn't pick up the phone if it wasn't them, basically.
Yeah.
They told me not to answer the phone. If I was home alone, don't answer the phone. Oh, yeah, Eric there says child labor laws, 1938. Yeah, I mean, the rare occasions, but I think I was at least 9 or 10 by that time. I don't know.
That's kind of smart. Because if somebody calls and then they find out a kid picked up the phone, then they might get into trouble. So you have to have a system, right? You call twice and then you.
Yeah, that was a common practice because even we had that in a place. It's mainly that you don't want to talk to somebody and then they find out that you're there all alone, right? So they could then come and cause trouble.
Right.
Yeah.
It's Jessica says in Wisconsin you can take kids to the bar.
Yeah.
So there's no need to leave them at home.
Right. Yeah, I remember that when we were living there in the late like 2008, 2009, 2010.
Yeah, we were living.
I was kind of surprised that you could do that, right? And it was explained to us why they did that. So yeah. Yes, we did live in Wisconsin too. We were out in. We were in Janesville during that time.
Where did you grow up? Wisconsin.
Moved to Rockford.
Racine on the lake there.
Oh.
South of Milwaukee.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot of mosquitoes. Do you remember getting bit?
That's Wisconsin. You're gonna have a lot of mosquitoes just about anywhere. So.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember getting bit like crazy?
Oh yeah, when we were kids. I mean, we would go out all the time, and yeah, we'd get chewed up. I mean, it's just a fact of life at that time.
Wait, are you type O, the blood?
Yeah.
You are?
Yeah.
I actually I was watching this Naked and Afraid, and they were dropped off in South America somewhere where there's a lot of mosquitoes. And the girl was type O and this guy was like type A. And the mosquitoes love type O more.
Oh.
So she was just getting bit so much that she was going into like shock. Yeah.
Oh, no.
So I think you're just a universal donor that the entire creatures on Earth want to eat you.
That could be. That that doesn't surprise me. The way the way the mosquitoes are in Wisconsin, yeah, it's pretty insane. Okay, we are going to add a screen here.
That means if Kurt is type O, that means both his parents are type O as well. You have to be. You can only produce O if both of them are O's.
Okay, so we're going to go into the Kickstarter now.
All right, here we are. Are we ready? We're going to click this button.
Yes.
We're clicking the launch. I also got this witch starter tag. No idea what that means, but it's a Halloween thing. So here we go.
Okay.
All right. And we are live.
Woo!
Here we go. Yes.
28 days. You have a video made?
Of course.
Let's play it.
All right, here we go.
Wow, look at that now. I love it. Oh my God. What?
How about that, eh?
That was pretty cool.
That was really cool. Like
All right.
horror.
Is that not intense, huh?
That was.
That was pure.
And you
horror
did it. And you
teaser.
did it. You know, like when you watch the other videos that people put up on their Kickstarter, right? There's a lot of narration, a lot of like rock music. But this, I think I like this because you just allowed the art and the pictures to just take everybody through it.
It's short and it's sweet, and like what Mel said, instead of like the author or the creator coming up and showing their face and talking on and on, it's literally just about the story and the art. So
it's pretty short and sweet. It's intense. It's a lot more intense than I thought it would be.
Very intense.
He's like, how do you think? I was like, holy cow, you know, I just
when I watch it, I'm thinking, oh my God, I'm gonna go into like a Predator movie trailer.
Yeah, it was intense, huh? Crazy.
But the first intro with the black and white and the building, that was really cool. It actually, like, it really felt like awesome.
And we have 2 backers already. We're up to 172.
Thank you, whoever's backing. If you're listening right now, thank you so much.
Can you see who the first backer is, and then we can tell them?
Yeah, that's kind of private. You don't want to.
Well, yeah. Let's wait.
I think it says right there. It says respect backers' privacy.
Okay, let me stop sharing.
If you thank them for the first
and I will.
I'll
get their first name.
Okay.
And,
not what they. Got.
Oh my God! It's Rob.
Rob Multari?
Yeah, it is.
Sucker, he timed it.
Yeah,
wow.
Thank you, Rob.
Thank you, Rob. You rock, man. Okay, let's get back to it.
You sure it's not another Rob? There's so many Robs.
No, it's definitely that Rob.
Yeah. He gave the last name away.
Oh.
I don't think Rob's gonna mind. No.
I mean, he's
that's bragging rights right there. In the first one, the back.
Yeah, that's awesome.
You know.
It is
5 backers. Okay.
All right, we're up.
Okay.
So moving along.
Looking good so
wait,
far.
Kevin said, he made it. Kevin said, thanks for digging the video.
Oh,
Kevin made it?
It was really intense. Yeah, Kevin and Ink Studios, I asked them to help me out with graphics and video, and I met him at C2E2 last year, and so I'm giving their service a try this time. That's kind of a one-stop shop. Ink Studios. I'm gonna give them a shot and see how we do. Hopefully, take a little pressure off.
Well, we like it. Thank you, Kevin.
It was amazing.
Yeah, really intense.
It was intense. It was the best trip ever.
Definitely an eye catcher, which is what you want, you know. Attention. So that was good.
Oh, Eric Marcusen. So I was too slow on the
draw. Oh, well, he's back.
Yeah. Well, okay, Eric, you're number 2 at least. Come on, man.
That's cool. We're all right with that.
Come on. Okay.
That's still some good bragging rights right there, and we definitely appreciate that.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you very much, Eric, and thank you, Kevin, for all the work you guys have been putting in on this.
I think the soundtrack was really killer.
Yeah. Yeah, like I said, intense. Definitely intense.
Yeah.
So here we go. We've got the story.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, it's a supernatural thriller about Ruxandra Tepesh and her. She's granddaughter of Vlad Dracula, and they are all Selrao vampires, which is a kind of a unique and tougher breed of vampire that are born vampires, not made. This makes them hated by other vampires and big time trophies to vampire hunters. So that's kind of their background. In this story, they escaped London years ago and basically went to sleep by being turned to stone in the sun, and find themselves waking up in 1926 Chicago in a ritzy apartment there that we saw in the video. And they kind of just break into the scene in the middle of a mob hit. So pretty intense.
They are unkillable. Even sunlight won't do anything.
I wouldn't say that.
Yeah, there's always ways. I mean, I'm playing with the vampire myths a little bit because vampires have been done so many times. Everybody knows everything about vampires, but I want to make this particular breed a little different, a little unique. So the sun turns them to stone rather than destroying them, but there will be a way to destroy them. And
what does that mean? We have at Fallout Studios video and ink studio
for the graphics. Oh, okay. So yeah, so they did the graphics for this one and they did the video. I guess they have 2 different studios for each
to handle. Yeah, got it.
So ink took care of the graphics, Fallout took care of the cinematography.
The video, yeah.
I see.
Thank you again, Kevin. So if you're listening and you're new to this story, it's a spin-off of the Sandsverse, which is my Spectrus and Sabanian universe. And Mog's done a number of covers for that. Some pretty amazing covers, I must say.
Thank you.
And speaking of covers, let's get into it.
Yes, let's get the 9 covers. 9 artists.
Right. We're not gonna. I don't think we can show Risque on YouTube and Facebook, so we're gonna.
Unless you cover,
we're gonna tone it down. Yeah, let him. He knows.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So we're gonna show just the nice covers for now. But here's Mog's original cover.
Thank you, Kevin. Thank you.
Gorgeous. It's pretty awesome. All right. This is Topper's cover, Topper Helmers, who's my interior artist for Spectrus and Sabanian.
Wow. I like Topper when he does the black and white. It's very dramatic.
Yeah. He's got that kind of gritty look to it.
The grit.
He was thrilled. He jumped at the chance to do. He wanted to do a Risque cover, so.
That's a nice deer in the headlights cover.
Yeah, that's really cool. Yeah, this was colored by Wesley Wong too. So those headlights the headlights are fantastic. They look like they're beaming right at you.
That's one of your regular artists that you use too.
So that's the nice cover, and Topper will do a naughty version of that.
Yeah, he's done 3. He did a series of 3. So one is basically naughty and another one is nude. So
there's a difference between naughty and then nude.
Topless and then
yes.
Oh, there is? I thought they were the same.
No, I've been, again, this, this might not sound good, but I've been researching the naughty and the nude stuff.
There's a difference.
So there's a difference between the naughty cover and the full nude cover. So,
Wow.
there's only like 3 cover artists that did. Headwind did one, Topper did one, and Psycho-san did one. So those are the only 3 that have like a 3 series of nude covers. Otherwise, everybody else just has naughty and nice. So,
Eric said he had to change his pledge to get all the covers.
oh, thank you.
Wow.
Thank you, Eric. Let's see, where are we at right now?
You rock, Eric.
6. All right, 6 backers. We
6
are
backers
almost
at 489. That's a nice head start there.
Yeah.
And we're 10 minutes into the campaign.
Thank you. Your support makes Kurt and me and Mel all survive.
Yeah, we get to keep doing this because of people that are checking out our story. It's awesome.
Wow, that's sexy.
And here is Louis Bravo.
Louis Bravo.
Wow.
Is it Louis or Louis?
One of our pals.
Yeah.
One of our pals.
This is the Cesara cover. Cesara's the Mad Triplet. And that's cool. He's got the Tommy gun, the old car, and the lantern, which we'll learn more about later.
Wow. He really embodied the message of buxom, I think, in this one, right? Would you call that buxom?
Well,
Doesn't buxom mean like heavy on the top, heavy on the bottom?
It means heavy on the top.
Mostly heavy on the top, yeah.
What? All this time? I thought buxom meant... Okay.
Buxom is, if you're buxom, you're top heavy.
Mm-hmm.
What? So if you're heavy on the top and the bottom, what's that called then?
Well, still buxom.
You're still buxom, but it just means you're top heavy.
Both heavy.
Well, we don't have a term for that, Mark.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
So maybe some other people.
Maybe it's called curvy.
Well, okay. Well, but what was the more common thing? We didn't really refer to them as a group together, right? But you would hear the term. We don't hear it as much, but you still can. But apple butt.
No, I'm talking about like you're equally endowed.
Yeah, we don't have that. So I'm telling you that they would have. Sometimes they would refer to a heavy bottom as an apple butt. And I'm saying it in a nice way.
Oh, okay.
Well, I'm learning things here tonight too.
Yeah, obviously.
No way. I know you're not that naive. Especially where you're at in Chicago.
I'm not sure if I heard apple butt.
Full figured is a very nice way.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah. There you go, Jessica. Thank you, Jessica.
Full figured is good.
Yes.
Okay, that's Louis Bravo, and this is Holy Bones.
It's really cute, the style.
Isn't it? Yeah. It's kind of simple, kind of I don't know, cartoony kind of.
Yeah, it's very the cartoon.
Yeah,
Cartoon Network.
Cartoony look.
Yeah.
Yeah, I asked him to do like a top on her, but he never got back to me. So I don't think he wanted to do one. So we've got this version, the unblooded version, where she's got the black hair with the red stripe, and then there's also a blooded version with it where she's got all red hair. So those are options that are part of the different tier rewards. So yeah, that's Holy Bones. He does fun little kind of caricatures like that. They're awesome. Okay, and this
sexy.
This is Enolia Nova.
Okay.
Found her on ArtStation. Click up here.
Wow. Kind of reminds me a little bit of like Perillo.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Of who? What?
What's his Perillo? He does a lot of
Is his
vampire.
first name Louis?
I'm not sure. I can't
Starts with an
remember.
L.
Yeah.
Louis
Yeah, but he
Perillo.
does a lot of Dynamite covers on like Vampirella,
Yeah.
Red Sonja, and all that.
Okay.
Pretty popular. Actually very popular.
Mm.
Does a paint. He does a lot of oil painted covers.
What's his name again?
Parillo, Parillo.
I think
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
Nice.
Lucio, right? Lucio.
Lucio, there you go.
Lucio
Yeah.
Perillo.
Just got recently married to Carla Cohen, another another artist.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
So yeah, she I've seen her stuff like on Tumblr, and found her on ArtStation. Thought, yeah, let's do it.
So
She's got it. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just saying that's a full figure.
Yeah. There's a risque version of this. It's also gorgeous as well. So that's definitely a keeper there. So that's Cesara with her pipe and her creepy lantern. That might or might not hold a demon inside of it. So
that's the one I was giving out the postcard.
Yep, this is MR Gunn. He did a cover for me for the last Spectrus and Sabanian, and he does some gorgeous work. So
yeah, he's been around. Nice piece here.
Very classic. Really tells the time. Kind of. It has that retro feel.
Yeah, that lighting is pretty cool too. With the kind of the motes of dust you can see in the air. It's pretty amazing. All right.
You're right. The motes of dust.
And there he is. Hedwyn. That's Hedwyn Zeldavar.
That's a nice one.
Yeah.
I really like this one.
Yeah, it tells a story.
Yeah, Ruxy riding the rail there with the Tommy gun.
Yeah, there's a lot of things going on. They're getting shot at. Bullets are backing off. Her heel is dragging on the street there. And she's got the Tommy gun in hand. She's hanging on. Really classic look from that era, where we're used to seeing the some of the guys riding on the side of the car. I don't know what kind of. It almost makes me feel like that's what they would call like shotgun back then.
I mean, let me tell you, I've drawn a lot of these vintage cars throughout the story, and they take so much time. So like this guy to do that. I'm sorry. What's his name again? Hedwyn.
Hedwyn. Yeah.
Good job, Hedwyn, man. Jesus, I respect.
But I think also too, that's another thing that can make this book interesting, add some depth to it, is the different cars that you can put in there from that time era.
I mean, this is a total like weird geek nerd thing here, but I noticed like I was studying the tires, drawing all the vintage cars, the 1920s. What fascinated me was the tires were not like the big fat tires like we have. They were like on the thin side, like almost a bicycle type of thin.
Or like
not that thin, but it was still on the thin side.
Motorcycle tires.
Yeah. So why did they change it? Is it because the thin tires could not handle it?
And they learned how to make them better. The cars got heavier too.
I'm just curious why the thin became thick.
I think they learned that you have better traction, so it was safer, less chance of the car crashing to the side of the road where you don't want them to go.
I think, and I think, like you said, the engines got heavier. As the cars went faster, the engines got bigger. Yeah.
Yeah, because that was all metal back then.
Which doesn't make sense because those cars, if you think about it, were they made of pure metal?
Yeah.
So they are already heavy then.
They're not, but they also weren't built safely.
Oh.
So,
yeah.
They were lighter in that sense that if you got hit, man, boy, did you get hit. Things would break easily. Yeah. So they started going to like heavier metals, for the safety protection. But in doing so, it carried more weight.
Yeah. Oh well.
All right. That's Headwind, and this is Psycho-san.
It's cute.
That kind of has that
Ruxy
anime
novel.
feel and look to it.
You have a naughty version of that?
Oh yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I've got them. You know, like I said, I don't want to fire them up
Yeah.
here because I might get spanked by Facebook or YouTube. So, but yeah, there's a topless version and a full naughty version of this one as well. So, and here we go with the pages. We saw a lot of these pages in the video. Story opens with a mob hit.
Yep.
Which wakes up Ruxy and her brother.
Mm-hmm.
I'd love to see this like in a movie or something. This whole scene, I think, would be really cool.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah.
After I finished the series, I thought this would be really good even as a TV series.
Yeah. I'd like to see this scene where they kind of the mobsters are there talking, not knowing what's going on, and then the vampires just wake up and of course they're in the middle of a feeding frenzy as soon as they wake up. So
it's funny because the beginning of the scene here, these are the few beginning scenes, right?
Yep. First 6 pages.
Yes, it follows the trail like the classic vintage. This is the vampire. But what you guys don't know is after this, it's a totally different flavor. There's gonna be a lot of unexpected elements coming out. So it's not sure, what would you call it? Proverbial? No, that's not the right word. It's not your average vampire story. That's what I'm trying to get at. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I definitely wanted to do something different and mix it up. Yeah, I wanted a kind of a real intense opening to the story, and then as they get there's a lot of action scenes in this book, and this opening one is probably the most savage of them all. But we're doing something a little different. It's still going to be the Spectrus and Sabanian universe. So there's going to be, other creatures of legend. There's going to be demons. There's going to be magic and all those other things. So yeah, it's not going to be your typical vampire tale. All right, let's take a look and see. Oh, holy cow.
Oh my gosh.
We're 1/6 the way there already.
Well, the goal is it the goal 6,000?
6,000, yeah.
Okay.
We're going to do more than that, but that's the goal. Wow, thank you so much, everybody that's watching, everybody that's backing. Thank you so much.
backers so far. That's good.
Yeah, that's pretty amazing.
Thank you, guys.
Well, we ended up with, I think, before we started, we had 208 followers on the launch page.
Yep.
So
Yep.
Hopefully, all of that comes through and more. And we can get the numbers that will really allow us to do this series right.
All right.
Play that video again.
All right, let's do it.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, you ready? Hold on to your butt.
Yes, guys.
Hardcore.
Man.
That is hardcore.
It's so cool.
And there he goes. It takes another jump.
That's right. One more backer after that.
Another backer. Well, that's actually we're at 17 now. We're at 19 backers. That's pretty good.
Oh,
Thank you guys. Keep it coming.
that's so
Share,
good.
like, share this wherever you can over social media, whatever groups you have access to where this can fit. That'll definitely help us out a lot. Tell your friends, tell your family, tell them to back this project.
Definitely, yes. So yeah, all these covers are available in a variety of levels of nudity and fun.
Good.
So
It's rewards.
yeah, we've got we start out with the nice versions, then we get into naughty versions.
Oh.
What are you?
And let's see here. We've got the digital deluxe, which includes Ruxy issue 1 and all of Spectrus and Sabanian, all 5 issues of that one.
Oh, nice.
And here's our unprohibited set with Mog. It's got her two covers there.
Mm-hmm.
The unprohibited sets are going to be your naughty and nice. So you order unprohibited, you get the naughty and the nice version. Oh, look, we got Topper here.
Where's
Topper.
Topper?
How's it going, guys?
Good.
Hello,
Topper, we were just talking about our naughty and nice versions here.
Yeah.
The porn versions?
Yeah.
That's what he called them back in their days.
No, it's not naughty. It's called nude. Yeah, so yeah. The porn version.
So yeah. We've got
Is it live?
oh yeah.
Yeah,
we're
Yeah,
live.
where are we at now? We're at
Nice. So we
backers,
got another
$1,200 so
got
far.
another backer. We're at 1,200. That's nice. Going good.
I haven't seen this. What's the goal?
6,000.
Okay.
But we are going to do
20%.
We're going to do more than
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
that.
Went along nicely.
So there you are, Topper. I think we're going to need to get some bigger displays of the naughty.
Definitely.
Yeah, it's
It's got to be.
When you're showing art, you want it to be as big as possible.
Yeah.
So we
it's
gotta
such a shame that it's so small.
do some updates there.
How many cover variations are there?
Well, there's 9 artists, and each one has at least 2 versions.
Wow.
So yeah, it's going to be a lot.
So you have a package deal if somebody wanted to get all the covers?
Definitely. We've got
Where's
the Speakeasy sets. Well, we've got what's it called here? We've got the Right G, which is the Right G is gangster slang for a good guy. That's all the nice covers. We've got Chicago Lightning, which is all the naughty and nude covers, and then we've got the Big Sleep, which is every cover that's available. I think it's 21 altogether.
Whoa.
why is it called the sleep?
The Big Sleep is another term for death in gangster speak. The Big Sleep is when you go to sleep forever, basically. Chicago Lightning is slang for gunfire. So yeah.
Big Sleep's a Humphrey Bogart movie too.
It is. Yep.
By Chandler.
So, and then we've also got some remarks available and cover sketches. Mog, we've got, I don't think they've got the so yeah, there's original art available. There are remarks available. And Mog's put up 2 pieces of original art here as well, which if you get one, you get a free reader copy along with that. Wait, 998 cover variations.
Huh?
No,
I think he's joking.
can't be that many. Okay. All right. Yeah, Kevin, I'll get with you. We want to just have like bigger versions of the risque. I know you gotta put in a little black bar or whatever, but we want to have bigger versions like
Definitely.
Yeah, if they were like the covers you're showing
Yeah.
right there,
If they're like that,
yeah.
I think it would, so people can actually see.
you appreciate it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they're fun, and that's honestly going to be the biggest draw. So, so yeah, we definitely will want to see the blown up naughty bits, so to speak. But let's see where we're at right now. All right.
So did you say you were going to make the change also the reward thumbnails or something, so people can see larger? I didn't quite get what you said.
Yeah, we're gonna add the risque versions, but we'll add, the little
okay.
little censoring blocks there, and we'll get them up there so that you can see. Because I mean they're not just because they're nude, but they're honestly they're beautiful too. So I mean some of them are just they're gorgeous and they're fun. So we got to get a little bit bigger graphics for that, but we are kicking butt.
What time did it go live?
7.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, that's actually, I'm looking over the big sleeve. That's actually a pretty good deal there, because you're getting like all 20 books. And if you look at it, like the deals that you put together, you're saving about, if I'm not mistaken, about $100 getting the big sleeve.
Yeah, and that includes the deluxe digital version as well.
Yeah.
And there are virgin covers available and metallic covers. Those are available as add-ons after you place your initial order. You can add those on. If that's what you're looking for. So Topper, yeah, I was telling him how you were. Again, thank you, Topper. I know you were pretty thrilled to do covers for this, and Wesley did a pretty amazing job with the colors. Those headlights just beam right at you.
Yeah, I'm looking at this cover now, and I'm looking at everything else you got, and I'm like, God, this is boring.
What? What are you talking about? It tells a story, man.
I was telling Kurt.
I mean, if you look at everything else, this is the least sexy cover of the group.
Oh, no, it's not. No, you're Topper. You're too hard on yourself, buddy.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we've got your other two. You know what? Let me see here if I can.
I think
he says that, but yet on his cover, I think you got the most backers on, so compared to everybody else.
I did a few. Okay, should we?
But I also did these covers. God, when did I? Over a year ago.
Yeah, but also I think if we see his was it naughty and nude versions, that would also totally change the game as well.
Yeah, let's you know what, I put together a few. Let me share a couple. I can share a couple that I got together here. Where is it?
How's life in Southern California?
It's just
last night was cold.
Kind of became a little cool. I think
it was cold for my old bones.
I mean, today's temperature is 73 degrees.
Oh, we were warmer than that here.
Where was it? What was
Close to 80.
Oh my
wow!
God.
But as I'm watching the news in the 6 states that are getting up to a foot of snow today, I'm like, yeah.
Where's 80 degrees at?
We were here in Chicago.
Here in the Midwest.
I mean,
brilliant.
it's gonna drop over the next week. But we were close to 80 degrees today, sunny, breezy. So
Wow.
Perfect weather.
I was reading a weather report from NOAA on what they were expecting for this winter season, if it was going to be cold. They're saying it's not going to be as cold as it was last year, but right now I'm not feeling that. And we're already here in mid October, at the bottom of October already. So I don't know.
It's kind of depressing because I recently watched a documentary about the polar bears, and the warmer winter is destroying them. They're literally starving to death.
Yeah, that's been going on for over a decade now, I believe.
The reason why is because they have to travel
Sure.
miles on ice.
All right, let's get back to
Okay,
it.
sorry, yeah.
There's that's March cover. I actually like this version than the other one.
The cold version.
Yeah,
Okay.
what you're calling the cold version.
Oh,
But I like the, I like that there's more expression in her face, and I can feel it more.
Yeah, I was, just a busy day today, so I put together as many of these as I could.
whoa,
There's
Here's
Thompson's.
Topper's second variation.
Oh, that's bloody.
that looks vicious.
Yeah.
Like really vicious. Yeah, that really tells somebody who's gonna, what's the word? Whoopie you up? No, horse feather you up.
We just hit 20 backers.
20
Wow.
backers, fantastic.
Okay.
Nice.
So that's the naughty version, and then there's a nude version of that.
yeah,
Oh,
Let me see here. Here we go.
What the heck?
Nice.
She
Yeah,
changed.
kind of a
Yeah, that's yeah. I like
I like
those
that.
better when you can just do more than just make them topless. And
Yeah,
you're
changed
putting a
it.
little more change into
yeah.
it.
It's like a sequence of action. So the beginnings, and then the second is a different pose, and the third is the final pose. So,
now if I thought about that correctly, listening to your comments, I would have had her clothes off on something, but I didn't. I mean, if we were going to do a strip tease, then
Hey, that's something to work on the next one.
yeah.
Yeah, she's gonna be in a stripper bar working that pole. Things coming off slowly.
No.
Oh, wait. No, wait.
Starts off as nice, getting into naughty, and then full nude.
We've got one more, I think. Hold on.
Well, not by me. I only did 3.
Yeah, but we got the one from. Let's see here. There we go. That's Lewis.
Oh, that's Lewis's one.
So-
Yeah.
change. So it's now wearing like a lingerie.
Yeah. And then there's a third one of this where she's
And
not
she's
wearing
got the apparition coming out of her. That's good. That's well done there.
Yeah.
Okay, now the only problem I have with this, I mean, it's a really nice design, but this is modern lingerie and not.
That is correct.
Yeah.
That is totally correct.
That was never anything close to what was done in the 20s.
Yeah.
Yes.
Probably wasn't as thrilling as this. Yeah.
Yes. Man, I remember doing all the research for.
Maybe she's a time traveler. We don't know yet.
All right. Okay, and that, you know what? Yep, that's the last one I was able to get to. What I'll do, let's see here. Let's look back at the.
Can I ask a stupid question? Who keeps popping in? How many other people are on?
Well, whoever's watching on Facebook or YouTube.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah, they can interact with us here in the comments.
So they can hear us talking and.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
yeah. This is a live stream. If you
Yes.
see in the upper left there, we've got 4 people watching right now.
Oh no, we can't see that. I think that's only you can see
Yeah.
that.
Oh, okay. Yeah. But up to 23 backers, $1,200. That's pretty awesome. Thank you.
Oh,
Whoever.
that's getting close to 25%. Another 280, that'll make it 25%.
Yeah. Yep.
You know, speaking of lingerie, when I was studying the 1920s costumes, the ladies they whenever they wear the fancy clothes, they really like bare their backs. Like they didn't really wear any bras, and their backs were bare. And then there's like a typical thing is like a V or like a really low circular cut in the front. Interesting.
Let
Can
me.
you imagine if your mom, like say 50-year-old mom, wore no bra and just okay, never mind. Yeah.
All right. You know what? I'm gonna throw together. Just
When
real
did stockings come into place? Garters and stockings.
No, I'm gonna look that up.
That was in the 1800s, wasn't it?
That's a really good question.
I know I knew there were stockings, but I don't think they were stockings like garters and stockings.
You mean like sheer stocking?
Yeah, I think that the stockings were like almost like leggings.
Oh yeah. Okay. Invented. Okay, so when I type in sheer stock, 1920s. Oh my
Really?
God! It just happened.
In the 1920s? You
Yeah, the sheer stocking.
sure? Okay, that's for sheer stocking, but what about just regular stockings?
The flesh color stockings, they didn't have it until only the 1920s because your legs were not supposed to be exposed. But in the 1920s, it became, like very radical. So the girls were wearing shorter skirts, and because of that, they want to show off their legs. So that's when the sheer stockings came in.
Do you know who Russell Patterson is?
No.
Hang on, I've got a book on him.
I'm throwing together a couple more risque censored picks here, so we can get into the good stuff here.
It says it was created out of necessity because the hemlines of the dresses in 1920s were getting like higher and higher, so the legs are exposed. And back then, the central heating, it gets really cold, was not widespread. So women began to wear, flesh-colored stockings to cover their exposed legs. And those stockings were sheer, and they're first made of silk or rayon, which is artificial silk. And only when the 1940s hit, that's where they invented nylon. So before this, like all the what was that? Top hats.
Flappers. And top hats and flappers.
Is that a fashion book?
No, it's not a fashion book. There was a guy named Russell Patterson that did all this. I mean, literally, he was a cartoonist in the 20s.
Oh God, I need that book. Yes.
And literally, when in the very first couple days, I mean, here's a good example of. He did life covers, but there's a flapper. I mean, where there's no bra, it's open back.
Yeah, open back. Yeah.
The stockings with the seam down, but all it is just an amazing book of just 20s illustrations and 30s.
That's from the same guy?
Yep.
He had a different style. Like one was very graphic, and then one becomes like almost painterly.
Okay, are we ready? You guys want to see some more?
Yeah.
Yes, please.
A bit more of the naughty.
Yeah.
All right. Can we get enough of that? No, we can't.
Wait, real fast.
Oh wait.
So when you were talking about her showing up in the hallway with the lingerie, that was as close to sexy lingerie as I could find.
Wow.
Yes.
With the shoulders too there. Look at that.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, with the big bow and kind of like a sheer.
Yes.
Yeah.
I looked up for me when I was doing the lingerie. I was researching like 1920s. I first researched lingerie, and then later on, what's that? It's blank.
There you go.
Yeah.
Men were all in tuxedos, and the women were just very slinky and.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kevin is right. Ankles were sexy in that era. Now,
Yeah.
when a guy saw an ankle, oh my God, that was a big turn on.
I don't know. What about the barebacks with no bra? I mean, forget
Well,
the ankles, man.
Well, you really didn't see the barebacks, no bra, unless you
No,
got into the lecture. Yeah, if you go into the clubs, yeah, but just out on the regular streets, right? Most women were covered, okay, from top to bottom, right? But so if a girl was like showing her ankles, that was that was considered very, very sexy.
Are you showing a tuxedo?
Kind of looks like
Oh,
I
those
don't know.
very fancy ballroom gown. That gown. Yeah.
Oh, that's. Ooh.
Yeah, I was just looking on Amazon. The book sells for about $74.
This book?
Yeah.
Get out.
That's
Nope.
expensive.
And then unless you want to get it on Kindle,
No.
for $13 Kindle.
Go on Stuart Ning. Do you ever go to Stuart Ning's bookstore?
No.
I have, yeah. Sometimes I do check that out, but I just kind of like popped it in on Amazon.
What's that?
It's a
Or go on is that what they're selling for on eBay?
that's Amazon.
Well, never buy a book on Amazon.
Oh, really?
Because they ship their books like crap.
Oh, you're right. Stuart Inc.
Yeah.
Stuart Ning, NG.
Yeah.
He's in Torrance. It's a very bad place.
Torrance is a bad place.
We're
It's a great place. Torrance is a great place, but this bookstore is a very bad thing. I walk in there and I don't hesitate, dropping $1,000 easily. It's just the art books and European books and foreign and manga books, and it's a bad place. I have a very hard time walking out of there without getting in trouble.
One thing I'd like to know is definitely their shoes, though. Nobody really talks about shoes as much. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, right now, Stuart Inc. does not have that book available.
But anyway, I think Kurt wants to show us the.
Oh, no, I don't want to interrupt. The artist discussion.
No, man, we're here to
I know Mog
Kickstarter.
features some shoes in the book too. I noticed that. I mean, you can't get away
Mog,
from the shoes.
Mog did tracksuits. Let's get back on track here.
Yeah,
Okay.
On me.
Okay, guys, on eBay, there's a copy for $42.70. Buy it now, free shipping. There's a copy for $24.99. Buy it now, $4.67 shipping.
That's good.
Here's a copy for $29.17. Oh, it's going to cost you $37 out of Canada.
No.
Oh yeah, I see that
Canada, no. I don't want to wait that long.
Oh, Canada!
All right, here's the last Louis Bravo cover.
Oh, he did a nude.
This is the full nude,
right?
Yeah.
which would be a part of the Speakeasy set, all 3 covers. And then here is Enolia Nova's cover.
Nude version?
Yeah. And let's see here. We've got
That
Headwind.
Edwin with his
That's
naughty.
Rocking the risque. And full risque. I wonder if that ever happened in real life.
I never get on those kind of streets.
Yeah, and the thing is, when people do nude, when they draw nude, there's no hair, right?
There's hair.
Oh, really?
It depends. Depends
Oh,
on.
yeah.
I think it's artist preference, to be honest. And there's MR Guns. And there is Psycho-san.
So that would be a nude version or a naughty version?
That's the full nude version.
Yeah.
Okay.
Usually when you see two bars like that, that's not full nude.
Okay.
2 bars gives it away. Yep.
Yeah.
2 bars.
All right, let's see where we're at.
Nice. 25 backers, $1,300.
Yes,
We
thank
are
you.
rolling along here.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. You.
Wow, look at that. Look at that. Moving along. Thank you so much. All right. And there's going to be some, I'm looking into some maybe holofoil covers. There'll be new things to be added along as the campaign progresses.
Oh,
Maybe some surprise stretch goals or something.
wait.
Yep.
Is it
Stretch
hollow
goals
foil?
will be posted shortly. I'm sorry, Mom, go ahead.
Is it, if it's hollow foil, is it like 2 pictures in one where it changes?
Oh, it's kind of like a
Almost like a chrome cover in a way.
yeah. I don't know how to exactly describe it, but
Mm.
it's kind of like a shimmery kind
It's
of
a
cover.
shimmer to it.
You know, one thing I would like, I was studying a lot of guns doing that one. Men clothes are so much harder to find, you know, men costume and the guns. And then I was like studying, like, you know, because there's a lot of shooting in this comic, and the bullets are different when it's used. I mean, when it's shot.
History of
Like,
fashion.
Oh, history of fashion?
Let me pull it back. You can full
Yeah,
costume.
yeah.
And then
Right.
and then the
Like a
chapter.
flapper girl in the front right there. Oh, that's your classic look.
Yeah.
Yeah, I am just not on board with those hats. They don't.
Really?
I agree with you. Okay, now,
are
but
so,
but some of those
they
hats
are
would be
so
decorative.
terrible. I do not like those at all.
But sometimes if they did it, if they put elements on there, you know, then they looked okay. Not so
They call
plain.
them bowlers,
Bowl
I
hats,
think.
yeah.
And the thing is, I really don't like their hairstyle back then either.
Yeah,
It's like
'cause
the
it-
bowlers that way everything is flat here, and then it goes like a little
yeah,
bit here.
yeah, dude. There wasn't really a way for the girls to like really fluff their hair as much as there is now. So
Are you
that's
kidding
why they
me?
went with a flat look, and that was the
Yeah.
style. Kind of looks like that has like a Japanese influence there.
Yeah. The girls kind of look scary. They look vicious. Yeah. Wonder what else. So we saw Talker's 3 version, Lewis's 3
There you
version.
go.
Yeah.
Nice gown you can wear to a speakeasy.
Yeah.
There's a couple movies you can watch that if you want to see a lot of the costumes heavily is Once Upon a Time in America. Have you ever seen that?
I have.
I've heard of it, but I heard there was a crappy movie.
It's a long drawn out film, but it's all 20s and 30s.
Oh, is it? Okay.
There's another one I'm thinking of. I can't
I know
remember
Kurt
the
gave
title.
me Miller's Crossing. That helped me in the first scene for sure.
Miller's Crossing's my favorite.
That movie was depressing. I'm sorry.
I mean, I can give you a whole list of gangster films if that's what you're.
Depressing. Well, yeah,
It's depressing.
You think so?
Yeah.
No, she doesn't like it when it's like that. I tried getting her to watch the I think it's called The Last Stand that had Bruce Willis in it.
Oh, that was kind of depressing too. Oh, is that 1930s now? Are we going to 30s?
No, we're still in the 20s and 30s. This is all considered the jazz age.
Yeah.
Oh, because that one kind of looks 30ish. The one on the one you're showing me. Interesting. So they didn't have bras back then? Is that why those ladies weren't wearing long bras?
I don't think bras came in till the 50s, late 40s.
I thought they had it before then in the 1800s.
I think they got rid of the corset.
I
That's
think
why
it was still corsets.
Everyone was like free. I don't have to wear a corset, you know.
I'm trying to think of what other books I would have that would have 20s. I'm sure I've got 20 other books here. I'm just trying to think.
We're going to lose you on all those books, Topper.
Yeah, so the bra was invented in 1914.
Oh.
$13.33.
Woohoo!
27
We-
back.
Looking good. Looking so good.
Keep it flowing.
Excuse me.
Hey, Kurt, when you decide on the time to launch a Kickstarter, is that a big factor that you need to consider? I'm just kind of like curious.
Honestly, I've just heard that statistically, Tuesday nights are the best.
Tuesday nights. Interesting.
Yeah, I don't know. Don't ask me why, but that's what I heard. Also, you want to maximize the number of Fridays in your launch.
So the more Fridays you have, the better. Is that?
Yeah, yeah. So this is a 30-day, 28-day launch, but it's got like I think 5 Fridays in it.
5 Fridays. Wow.
Wait, maybe that's not right. Hold on.
Yeah,
At least 4.
Yeah, at least 4, right? Now November is a interesting month because that I believe has like, I know it has at least. Well, yeah, November is interesting because it does have 5 Fridays in it, I believe.
Yeah, I didn't. I cut it off on that Tuesday, the 3rd Tuesday in November, because that weekend is Thanksgiving. So I doubt. Yeah, so I'm skipping the Thanksgiving thing. We're not going to do a closing ceremony on Black Friday. No way.
Mm-hmm.
Tuesday night always works on. Interesting.
Yeah, it's just like when eBay first came out, we realized that the best night to launch was on Thursdays.
Okay.
Thursday evenings. Yeah, so we would pile up, as many auctions as we could load up on Thursday nights. But yeah, you find things out like that to take advantage of. That's why I was kind of like curious if there was a night that would be better to launch like a Kickstarter on.
Well, the reasoning behind the 5-day or the 5 Fridays is that when you think about it, most people get paid on Fridays.
Yeah.
Ah.
Yeah.
So if you have 5 Fridays, then you're. Oh, Erte. I've got books on Erte. This is an interesting. Who's that?
What's Airtake?
ERTE. He was another artist.
Oh, Erte. Yes. Yes. He designed a lot of the 1920s. Wasn't he 1920s like prominent designer?
Yes.
You know, the 1920s, the men looked really good, and their style did not change. Like you're thinking like 30s, 40s, 50s. They all wore, almost the same hairstyle, the clothing. And then 60s hit, and they became a totally different thing.
If you ever, there's somebody else I should. John Held. Do you know who he is? John Held Jr.
Like Hell as in Hell?
HELD. John Held Jr. He was also very cartoonist from the 20s and 30s.
John Held?
Yeah. Very flapper oriented. I don't know if there's a book on him. I've got him represented in a half dozen books on illustration.
Oh, I recognize his art. He's very famous.
His head, the guys' heads were always like big round balloons, and the women were always.
Yeah. It looks like Popeye art. You know Popeye?
Yeah.
I wonder if it was the influence of Popeye. Interesting.
Yeah, thanks, Kevin. That's what I heard too. That Tuesdays are the best, one of the best nights to launch. Yeah, Tuesdays and Fridays. Okay. Yeah.
Maybe that's why, Mel, you said Thursday night eBay was good because
You'd catch Friday.
You catch the Friday payday.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh.
You catch the Friday payday.
Is it the same in the military? Do they always get paid on the Friday? Because when I worked at other companies, it wasn't always Friday. It sometimes was, I think it was Wednesday for me. For me, I got paid Wednesday.
Well, yeah, when you say Friday, when they refer to Fridays, you're talking to people that are like bi-weekly, but military, I believe, is bi-monthly.
Really?
Yeah, where you get paid twice a month on the 1st and the
Bi-weekly?
15th.
You mean bi-weekly?
No.
Yeah, it's whenever, it's whatever days, like it's usually like the 1st and the 15th, yeah. Are the paydays, whatever days will fall on.
Yeah, whatever those 2 days would fall on, you would get paid for that time period. So like the second part of your paycheck could be a little bit more because some months have 31 days in it.
Interesting.
Tuesdays because of the comic traffic of comic shops pre-selling Wednesday new comics. And that makes perfect sense. So you kind of get in a little bit of an edge of them spending. It's not that you don't want them to spend the money.
That makes sense too.
Comic book shop, but just to get some of that money before they spend it all.
Interesting. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's that only works though if, to Kevin's note there, that works only well if your books are going to be in a new comic book store.
Yeah.
Yes. That's like for diehards, really.
Look up Irene Zimmerman.
Okay.
She was a female artist. I'm going through this book on stolen sweets.
Yeah, what is that Stolen Sweets? Is it?
It's kind of a book of just the cover girls of yesteryear, the elegance, charm, and sex appeal.
Oh.
This book is pretty beat up, but I bought it because there was a lot of the pinup stuff, the pulp covers from the 20s and 30s. But there's a whole section of just 1920s French lingerie stuff.
Oh, now you're talking. You're going French.
French lingerie. They're the ones to get lingerie from.
Yeah, that's where it all started.
I don't know. The women there, they don't shave their armpits. So I don't know.
And they still don't.
Look at this one. Can you see this?
French frolics.
All right, let me try.
19.
La Paris.
I don't think we're allowed to show that.
La
Sorry.
Paris.
This is it's censored topper. You're not supposed to show that.
Which I don't understand.
Yeah, we can't. We're not supposed to see that topper.
Which I don't understand.
You were just
to get onto
because I don't have a black bar over it.
Right, you got to put a piece. You got to put a sticky note on or something. Because they'll spank me. They'll YouTube or Facebook will come after me for that.
Okay,
stuff.
so now it started. This thing's starting to really get exciting.
Yeah, put your fingers on it.
We got a spanking coming.
I do. Yeah.
The spanking is spanking.
Dun, dun, dun.
Right. Look at that.
So guys who've been just dropped in for this, please, Topper, Mel, Kurt, me, we all worked bloody hard for this. Like, I don't know if you guys got the pun, but anyway, this is a 1920s Prohibition era, and you throw in a vampire and her brother, or two siblings. Was it? You call it sibling?
Yeah, triplets.
Yeah, sibling vampires, and then see what they do. That's pretty much it. It's kind of funny too because you get to see how they try to earn money, how they struggle, how they try to figure things out. Wow, that's beautiful. The Art Deco. So yeah.
Yeah, there's just about everything available. Big cover variety. You know, if you're not into the naughty stuff, you can. You know, there's plenty of cover options available for you too. So don't think you have to go full naughty if you don't want to.
You know, Kurt, that guy's name Kevin Gillot. Isn't that the famous shaving company?
No,
Gillot?
Gillette is what you're
Gillette?
thinking
Oh,
of.
sorry.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's not it.
So
Thank you, Kevin.
Thank you so
Yeah.
much for the love.
Oh, in case you guys aren't aware, Topper did the layouts. He helped kickstart the real thing. Kurt here, this lovely man above me, is the writer.
Yeah,
And,
yeah. Topper gets. Oh yeah. Oh, and Mog is the artist.
yes. And this is the guy here next to me is the one who carries the whip behind the entire scene and whips us all into finishing it in time.
Good for yes. Thank you, Al. That's
You
good.
know who else you can look at is movies like Top Hat with Errol or with
Yeah,
I
Fred
never saw
Astaire and
that.
Ginger Rogers.
that's a classic.
But hey, isn't Top Hat supposed to be 1800s?
No,
No, it's supposed to be in the 1930s. Swing Time is another one.
I thought Top Hat is like where they do this really tall like hat. Isn't that a top hat?
Yeah.
That was only in the 1800s.
no.
It went out of style.
You got to look at the stuff in like they were wearing that in the 20s, 30s, 40s, and even into the 50s.
I don't know. When I was watching Miller's Crossing, nobody was wearing a top hat. They were
Oh yeah.
There
No.
were more movies than that.
The top hat would be more for like going out for like formal occasions and things.
Very formal.
Yeah, I don't think people wore. You wear that with like a tuxedo or something. I don't think.
Yeah,
People,
Oh.
yeah. You're not gonna wear that to a. Not
okay.
too many people would wear that to a speakeasy. I don't
So,
yeah.
so for 1920s theme movie, I'm getting Top Hat. I'm getting
Swing-
Once Upon a Time
Swing
in America.
Time.
What?
Swing
Swing?
Time. That's another one.
Swing time.
Swing Time. I already got Miller's Crossing. I frames shot that almost like per every second.
Once Upon a Time in America. It's all speakeasy. It's all gangster. It's all 20s, 30s.
The speakeasy, there was a one page I had to do a speakeasy. It took me almost like 2 days to finish that. So yeah, it was really difficult piecing together all the information.
Okay.
Can't wait. Yeah, I honestly can't wait to see that page though too. See it. I mean, fully colored and yeah, it's
Oh yeah,
pretty amazing.
that's a sweet page. I like that one too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Is it?
nice big page.
So wait, which one is the one that has a lot of speakeasy? The movie you said Swing Time.
Once Upon a Time in America.
That one has a speakeasy.
Right? Yeah, it's got a lot of sequences in it. It's Robert De Niro, James Woods. It's you'll recognize a lot of the cast.
Okay, you know what I don't see often, and I'm like I get really my pet peeve is like ordinary scenes, like a living room, like furnitures, just even a freaking just a living room.
Well, that's,
You don't see that.
Okay, watch The
It's not
Untouchables.
Miller's Crossing.
yeah.
No, okay, dude. I was trying. It shows offices, and then there's like rinky dinky apartment, like in one where
Yeah.
the girl was, but it wasn't much.
There's
There's a lot
several
share.
living room scenes in The Untouchables
Yeah.
What?
with Kevin
Untouchable.
Costner and
They're the Untouchables. Yeah.
That's a good one because they're in his apartment. I remember the kitchen scene in there.
yeah, he why am I going blank? Sean Connery gets killed in his apartment, but the whole movie happens in Chicago.
Oh, really? That's even better. So Untouchable is the
Yeah,
actual Chicago.
Could you throw a Godfather in there?
Um,
Because it's in
Godfather,
Chicago.
I think, is later. I think it's
Godfather 2.
yeah, Godfather. Well, Godfather is
But they go
more,
back to the 20s in Chicago or in New York. There's some,
yeah, but
there's-
Godfather 1 is post World War II. So
yeah, and then see Godfather 2, there's a lot of sequences where they go back and they're telling the story from the beginning
Mhm.
as he rose through the ranks in the 20s.
yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I still remember that sniper when he first kills the original Godfather one guy is his younger time. Remember he wraps the gun with the blanket. He goes on top during the.
yeah.
Do you remember the thing, guys? And he jumps over the building, and then he shoots the guy. He throws the thing in the chimney, and then he goes home, and then he kisses his child.
That's Godfather 2.
Yeah.
But there's several shots in that where they go to steal a carpet, and that's kind of like an upgraded living room. But then when he takes the carpet back to De Niro's home, where young Sonny is a little baby, and they put the carpet down. I mean, it's very bare. I mean, furniture was not. Apartments and houses were much smaller.
Yeah.
There was no closets. I mean, you had an armoire.
But the thing is, I'm trying to look for like in Ruxy. Ruxy lives in a posh part, so I was looking like a 1920s like posh, nice. But then it is good to know rinky dinky, like regular average people interiors as well. So
yeah, you have to think about it. What is posh now to you is not going to be what is posh back then.
Oh, that is true.
Because they didn't have, they don't build homes like that anymore. They were more simpler. Rooms weren't really all that big either.
Mm.
Yeah, they like what the Tower was saying, that they have armoires, not closets.
Yes, armoires, no walk-in closets. Well, I'm guessing they did. Some of them, right?
Possibly.
Yeah, possibly, but it's very rare. I don't even remember.
Yeah, but yeah, now that I think about it, yeah, it's almost always big armoires. It's where they kept their clothes. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
When I was doing the buses, there was a bus scene. I was studying so much about what did a 1920s bus look like. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, the old trolley. Yeah.
I couldn't really find it, so I thought, let's look at 1930s. I bet you they used 10 years, like old models. They're not gonna just suddenly change it like that, the bus companies. So I kind of cannibalized a lot of 1930s buses into 1920s. But yeah.
There's still a lot of carriages in the 20s, wasn't there?
No, not as much.
Like horse-driven carriages?
I got to see a 1920s photo shot of a vintage Chicago, and it was all paved.
Yeah.
There were cars. There weren't really much horse carriages. It was literally just cars.
Okay, I'm here. There's a series of books. I've got one called The Fabulous Century. It's a Time Life series book. This is the 1950s and 60s. So I just went on eBay and typed in The Fabulous Century 1920s, and they've got a copy for $4.49 with free shipping.
What?
It's the Roaring 20s, 1920, 1930, The Fabulous Century. It's hardcover. Here's another copy for $4.18.
1920s?
Yeah.
Fabulous Century 1920s.
Here's a copy called The Roaring 20s. Yeah, same book, 1920 and 1930, This Fabulous Century, $7, free shipping. Here's another copy for $15, free shipping.
But this one, I remember, I don't know if you remember Topper, it was all winter scenes because it starts around Christmas.
Right.
And just trying to find coats and winter clothing. I remember it was kind of difficult because it's so cold there, and you're supposed to cover yourself a lot more than that, But
Can you see
What?
this book?
What? What is that? I can't really see.
Fabulous.
It says 20s and 30s style.
Oh. How many books do you have? Is
Topper's
your whole
got a lot of books.
is your whole wall covered with books?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I've got 13 bookcases in here and they're all full.
Oh my gosh.
So, I mean, there's very little that you're going to ask me that I can't find fairly.
Yeah, I know. Next time I have any problems, I'll hit you up, Topper. Yeah.
That's
Do you
fine.
have references for the? Oh, you know, I remember a challenge. I was looking for the horse race. What do you call them? They call it racing forms, race forms.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, racing form. Yeah.
Yeah, I actually had to go into a library, and some of them actually saved some of the old 1920s newspaper, and then I got the copy and then I pasted it. What is that?
This is one of the fashion pages. Coco
Oh.
Chanel to something.
Yeah.
Men's fashion doesn't change a whole lot.
No,
Which is great. Great. you know?
It stays in one place for forever, and then all of a sudden, women's fashion, they're just like, whoopee!
yeah.
Yeah, I think from the 60s it just went downhill for men.
Downhill. That
Yeah.
could be.
You guys don't wear button-up shirts. Come on, man. What's that?
Yeah,
What are you guys
collars.
wearing?
The collars are so small now. Used to have nice big wide collars.
Yeah, just wear t-shirts.
Look like you could hang glide on them.
Like Topper's wearing a zipper. Come on. Furniture, huh?
That's a desk. How
Huh?
cool is
I thought
that?
that was a chair.
What?
I thought that was a chair, the black one. That's a chair, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, this is one of those little books I picked up. God, where did I find this?
What about cars? I need cars, Topper.
Cars?
Yeah, 1920s cars, dude.
I've got 30 books on cars. What do you want?
Really? You got 1920s?
Yeah.
Okay.
We're at $13.98. 30 backers. $2 away from 1,400.
Woohoo!
Okay, there's a place in LA that you can make an appointment that you need to go see. It's called the Nettercut Museum. It's it's in Sylmar. It's free, and they've got one of the largest collections of Duesenbergs. I mean, this place is just mind blowing. The cars that they've got from the 20s and 30s and 40s and 50s, and
What?
I mean, it's called
free?
the Nettercut, Nethercutt. You have to make an appointment.
Yeah. Oh.
It's in Sylmar, and they have tours. But I mean, when you walk into the Grand Salon that they've got, like the #1 Duesenberg and the #2 Duesenberg ever made. I mean, these cars were like, $3 or $4 million cars, and it's in a marble showroom floor with a giant staircase. That's just mind blowing.
Okay.
I could do that.
Are we allowed to take pictures?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Okay.
And what I found out really fast was, we were in there. We went to see the collection, and there's a security guard that was there.
Yeah.
And literally, I'm talking to him going, do these cars get driven like all the time? And I said, what are the chances of ever getting in a car? And he goes, why? What do you want to see? And I go, I want to see the Tucker. And he goes, okay. And he walks me down, opens the door, and lets me get in it.
Wow.
What? I have to. Do you know how hard it was to find a bloody steering wheel with the freaking clutch? I was trying so hard to find pictures of that.
This is
Okay, outside's great, but sometimes as an artist, I need to see what it's like inside. When they're driving. Took me ages. Okay, so Nethercart collection.
Nethercut, yeah. It's a free collection. Yeah, there's not a whole lot that you can ask for that I couldn't pull out reference on fairly fast. You want?
Wow. We should go there, Mel. Take me there. Okay.
All right here. This book literally takes a page like this and breaks down the engine, the transmission, the
What?
car. And this is one of those books I picked up in a sale price. I think I paid what, $5.95 for it. Ooh!
Oh my gosh, you scored. So when you buy these books, do you even have a plan, or you just pick up books that you think is cool and just collect them?
There's certain things that you know when you do comic books for a long time, or illustration, or like a theme park design. There's just certain stuff that you know you're going to need over a period of time.
Yeah.
So anytime I can ever find a classic book on cars,
Yeah.
when it's on a sale book in a book sale, buy them. I mean, I've got maybe another 30 books here on cars. I've got, if you want tractors, I've got books on tractors because it's all farmland.
Tractors.
Aztec, Disney, Arte, I've got books. I've got.
How about like horse stadium stuff?
Stadium?
Yeah, like race where they do the racing things.
Racetracks.
Oh, racetrack.
Horse racetracks.
Oh, you know what would be a good scene for that is the King's Speech at the very beginning. They're at the race. They're at a racetrack in England, and he's got to give a speech where he stutters, and everybody's like freaking out over this. King George, who's not King George yet, but there's a big opening sequence with that, and there's also a horse race scene in Once Upon a Time in America.
Oh wow! Okay.
That's the movie that if you want to look at gangster stuff, that's the movie. The cars, the people, the clothes.
I think we're gonna watch that tonight.
Okay, what about this one? This is a hard one. Docs.
That's not
Docs?
hard.
Yeah. I get so many.
D-O-C-K-S?
What? Like
D-O-C-K-S?
Yeah, like where boats come in and dock their stuff and then
Okay.
boats.
Once Upon a Time in America, there's a scene where the four of them are they've just killed the other rival gangsters, take all their diamonds, and they're driving towards the river, and all of a sudden they're all like, quit joking around, and he drives this 1930s car right off the pier into the water.
Oh wow. It's got everything.
I'm telling you, it's a very violent film. Just know that.
Okay.
But if you're looking for costumes, if you're looking for, 1920s, 1930s, that's, that to me is the overall gangster film that, I could probably pull out a half dozen Humphrey Bogart films.
Here's a really odd question. Do they have the trash back then, 1920s? Was it like those silver can looking trash they used? What was the trash like?
Basically, how did they collect trash?
Trash bins. Did they have that?
No, it's the better question is how did they collect trash?
Not like you're thinking they do today. Yeah, I think in the bigger cities they had you'd go out into the hall. Like if you were going to an apartment, they would have a door that you would open up and you would drop your trash and it drops to the basement.
Yes, the trash chute.
The trash chute, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But as opposed to trash cans, trying to think of when they came out.
I don't know.
Or dumpsters.
After it went to the basement, who was responsible for emptying it out?
Yeah. What did it look like?
There was usually somebody who was hired to run keep the apartments going, like a maintenance person.
So it was a maintenance person for the apartment, not like city and county like how we have now.
No.
So back then, like if you have a house and you had all this trash, you don't even have plastic bags back then.
No.
Wow.
So how did they do it if you had like a house?
I know. I'm actually curious now. Homes. It's got to be a Maybe there's a bucket, but anyway, we're detracting
Because
from
I know, like,
Yeah.
see, I was born in the 60s, so there was always somebody that came around to collect the trash. But I'm trying to think of, well, how they did it before that.
Plastic was a pretty old invention, right?
Well, they didn't have plastic bags back then in the 60s.
So I'm gonna say trash bags.
What's the Russell Crowe boxing movie that Ron Howard directed?
Oh, Cinderella.
Cinderella Man.
Cinderella Man.
There's a lot of 20s and 30s stuff in that in the beginning.
And he was working at a dock.
That was the Depression, the Cinderella Man story.
Yeah.
Oh, you're right. I should look at that one for docs. But yeah, it says only in the 1950s it was created, the garbage bag. It was invented.
There was paper bags. I mean, but you didn't, other than cans. I mean, there were no milk cartons. You recycled your milk bottle.
Yep.
There was no. I mean, beer was literally on draft. There was no canned beer.
Did you do it? Did you recycle the
I
milk?
would say, we didn't.
You have to do you have to wash it out and give it to the person? Or they just wash it for you?
Some people did it, but we were getting our milk via cartons already.
Okay.
But I would recycle the soda bottles. That was a great way to get the coins so I could buy candy.
Wow.
The people that were the illustrators, I'm trying to think, that were really big into the 20s and early 30s. Look up any J.C. Linedecker. Do you have anything by him?
Yeah.
She knows Linedecker.
Okay, that would be a good source for male costumes.
Wow, there's a picture of a lady in the 1920s. It looks like those metal post office where you put letters in, and they take buckets and throw their trash in it. It's almost like, and I guess somebody comes in and collects the entire thing. It's interesting. It looks like literally a post office bin, post bin, a letter bin.
We're now at 1,400, Kurt.
Yes.
31 backers. Moving along.
This is sad. They didn't really have much trash back then. But after the 20s, it says it became a huge problem, and that's when they started to have landfills and just dump trash in there. Oh, how many backers? We hit 1,400.
31.
31 backers?
Mm-hmm.
Amazing.
Are at 31 backers.
What's your highest tier? Highest tier? Do you have like a high tier one, Kurt?
It's all the covers.
Yeah. There's the all the covers is like $300.
Oh, restaurant. Yeah, I probably need that restaurant design.
Yeah, this was a book that I bought at H.G. Daniels for $60, but there's a lot of really good shots of interiors for 20s, 30s. I mean, they're modern on a 20s design, but I mean, it would take very little effort to convert a lot of these interiors to what you need.
Because those diners, like, I don't think even the restaurant owners will change their furniture. Like, oh, it's now 1930. Let's like get rid of everything.
What was the Tom Hanks 30s movie?
Road to Perdition.
There's another one that's got a lot of good living room shots, and there's a couple diners in there from the 20s and 30s.
Yeah, I remember. Man, these are all depressing movies, though. Okay, Road to Perdition. I'm so glad Kurt is not doing a depressing story.
That's actually based on a comic book, Road to Perdition.
Really?
That's actually a comic book movie. Yep.
Okay, so what year exactly is Ruxy Vampire in?
1926.
26.
Yeah.
All right, so nobody's going to bust your chops if you're doing if you're taking stuff from 1933 film.
Yeah, you can play around with that time.
Yeah,
period.
like I said, it makes sense that they will carry on, from the 1920s to that, because no one has in the right mind is not going to get rid of this furniture.
I mean, men's fashion isn't going to change at all.
I believe you. The shoes, they're probably going to be the same. Yeah, the women is just going to change a bit.
I don't know if do I have a book on shoes?
Nobody cares about feet.
What kind of shoes?
Shoes were a big thing back then.
No, I mean like.
I mean, I've got books on scarves. I mean, it's scary the crap I can pull out.
Belts.
Shoes. Do I have a book on shoes?
Actually, I was looking for all those guys. Like they had I think Kurt was asking for like a gun holster,
shoulder holsters.
And then we were arguing, me and Mel were arguing that because I was only finding shoulder holsters that had only one. But Mel, you were saying there should be two and then one across.
I think there's
and I couldn't find an actual vintage 1920s like that actually goes across. And I think we were arguing that your version is a little too early.
What's the Bruce Willis film from the 30s where it's
you said it's Untouchables, right?
Well, The Untouchables is with Kevin Costner.
No.
Oh.
Bruce Willis.
That
was a crappy movie.
It's a Clint Eastwood movie. It's a Toshiro Mifune film. It's where he rides. He's the guy who rides into the middle of this little western town.
Yeah. It's a totally a ripoff of Clint Eastwood where he plays off of the two gangs and then.
We tried watching that.
It was so bad. I couldn't.
It is terrible. But
I love that movie.
But that's also the Clint Eastwood movies are a ripoff of Toshiro Mifune.
Yeah. So they're all ripping off from each other. And you're not watching it for that. You're watching it for the reference.
Really? That was actually ripped off of somebody else's?
Yeah.
Who was again? Mifune?
Toshiro. Game of Ronin. What are the other movies he did? I mean,
Ronin.
He did this Seventh Samurai.
There you go.
He did Ron. You're talking about Akira Kurosawa.
Yeah. Rashomon.
Toshiro Mifune was the actor.
The actor. Yeah. Okay. Makes sense.
Yeah. Kurosawa did a lot of great movies. Ron is really good. I've got that one here.
Inspired a lot of people too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of which, guys, if there's anybody out there listening to us still, there is a surprise character that has a Japanese kind of folklore creature in there.
Yeah, she's going to be on a cover too eventually. So, fingers crossed that my artist comes through on that. Francesco.
I've got a book here called Vogue, Book of Fashion Photography, 1919 to 1979.
1979? That sounds really boring.
No, it goes from 1919 to 1979.
Oh, okay. Oh, I remember the book. I used to borrow that book a lot in the library. It has some really good references. I used to
it's all fashion photos here.
Yeah. Oh, do you then have this book, the couture book? It's like a couture book of only, I remember, like hats.
Are you holding it up?
No, I don't have it, but I had, it's such an expensive book, I could only borrow it from the library. But it was
amazing. What kind of artist are you? You're supposed to take those things home and never return them.
What? No. Are you?
Don't you know how libraries work?
But I always get caught and I get fined a lot.
Okay, what you do is you tell them your car was broken into and they stole the book. And then all you have to do is pay for the original cost of the book. So if the book is now a $200 book, but they only paid $4.95 for it, that's all you have to replace.
But what if they lie?
Let me ask this, right? When a book is overdue, okay, have you ever had somebody come to the door to try and collect?
No.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but you know what? That reminds me. I actually damaged a book once because I spilled ink all over, and then it was kind of an old book that they ran out of print. and it doesn't publish anymore. And then he said the current value was like $80-something, $87, and I had to pay that. And then back then I was a poor student, and I hate crying in public, but that lady made me cry.
Oh.
And then the next day I was trying to come back and see if I can maybe pay for it. And then I guess she felt sorry for me because she remembered me. And then she said, if you can buy a book that is of equal value in content, then I will let you go. So I bought a book that's about like $25 to $30. And then I gave it to her, and it was the scariest time because you hand it over and she's looking through all the pages and comparing it from the original like book. Man, she made me sweat that piece of horse feather.
But Mog sweats easily. There's this one time where
So-
I had returned a book to the library, and then I got a notice, and they told me that it was not returned.
Oh, it was
And then I had to, pay up for it.
James Taylor.
So I did.
Mog, here's some Vogue. Here's some shoes out of a Vogue from 1930.
Oh, yeah.
I gotta step away for a second. I'll be right back.
But then I did find the book, brought it up to them, and then they wanted me to produce the notice that I received that it was not returned, which I happen to have.
I know those libraries.
And I got my money back.
I mean, I understand why they're doing it, I guess, because I guess they get ripped off a lot, but still. So did you really try that and it worked, Topper?
Topper stepped away.
Like you pretend that.
Topper stepped away.
Did you ever get away from a library, Mel, yourself? I never could get away from it.
Can you see what's in the private chat?
I think they're gonna go. It's been 2 hours. I think. How long? I'm going to have to head out soon. Okay. I think we're gonna.
Mm-hmm.
We're leaving.
1408, 32 backers so far, and we are. Let's see, we're an hour and a half into the Kickstarter. So that is cool.
If you are a history fan, like historical fiction fan, this is it for you.
And
There is you gotta have some suspension of belief. We didn't do it accurate to the T, but we tried our best. We put in a lot of heart and research into it. So please support Ruxy. I'm sorry, Topper, were you gonna say something?
No, I was gonna go get something to show you real fast. Hang on.
And what is interesting is that Mog is the penciler on this book, and Bruna is doing the coloring. So you're pretty much getting the same team from Snowpaw on this book, but definitely a different feel. And so you got a team that has been working together and developing together. So that's always good to see and do. And you will probably see Snowpaw in January, as long as working on that third issue as we speak. So we do want to thank Rob Vampire for being the first backer on this campaign. Hopefully we'll be able to return that favor as well in January.
So that's a Tommy gun. Is that toy gun?
It's an airsoft,
Oh,
but it's a 1-on-1 scale.
it's actually huge. It's not as small.
No, it's not a small gun at all.
It's like a rifle.
It's a machine gun.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
So when you take the drum off, because like if you look, if you saw like Saving Private Ryan, he's holding a Thompson machine gun, but at that point it's now a straight clip and they take off the gangster handle in the front.
Yeah.
The gangster handle is the front one you're holding?
Yes.
Yeah, that's this part right there. I'm trying to find. That's the gangster handle right there.
Gosh.
It's got ribs here. The original was the original barrel was 16 inches long. You pump it back, you cock it right there, and then you just let them have it. And normally you would start down because the thing would kick up.
Oh. How much is that thing?
This gun?
Yeah.
I think I paid $49 for it on eBay.
Yeah, I think I might need that.
Thompson submachine gun. It's an airsoft. It's 1-on-1 scale. You could see where you take off the butt.
It's so difficult.
And it would literally fit into a violin case, which is,
Yeah, the massacre.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, and those violin cases were custom made to fit those guns in them.
But everything comes apart on this. There's the actual machine gun.
Wow. Now I need to, because it's always difficult to find the angle and how people are holding it.
Yeah, I mean, just the frame is 24 inches. So this from here to here is 2 feet. And then when you add the stock on it, that's another 12 inches. So it's 3 feet long.
All right.
What? That thing is 3 feet long?
Well, this part is now 3 feet long. And then when you put the drum on it,
I'm guessing that's another 12-inch. So 1 foot.
Does Topper have a real Tommy gun? No.
It's an
it's
airsoft.
Okay.
It's a 1-on-1 model.
But it's a 1-on-1 scale.
Okay.
It's got the gangster grip as opposed to the World War II, which they took this off and it just became a piece of wood. So you would hold underneath like this.
Right.
And it had a straight clip. I've got pictures in a magazine that shows, I guess when this came out in the 1920s, there's pictures of cowboys on their front porch. You can handle cattle rustlers, and the cowboy standing there in a big 10-gallon hat with a Thompson machine gun shooting at guys on horses. And I'm like, that's cool.
Wow.
That's crazy. But anyways, I've got an interview tonight.
Yeah, I think we're about ready to close her down. We're doing pretty well here. We're doing
That is so
Yeah, we're at 1,400.
23% funded, and we're not even 2 hours in. So we're a quarter of the way, 2 hours in. That's pretty cool. We're gonna get some updated graphics in there, and I also got to put in the get drawn in reward tier. So I had somebody actually asking about that. So along with a bunch of spam messages, which is just part of Kickstarter now. But hey, thank you so much, guys. And if you're listening to this or watching this, definitely check out Spectrus and Savanian.
Yes, please.
We've all put a lot of work into this. We've put our heart and soul into this, and it supports us, supports artists, and just countless other people out there, and it's a great time. I guarantee it. You're gonna like it.
Thank you, guys.
Well, thank you, and I will be in touch, and I'm sure I'll see you on Facebook slamming the comic groups, as I will be too. So,
Yep. All righty.
All right, you guys take care. Thanks again.
Good night.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.
See ya.
Bye.
Yeah.